Hello there, this is DBT and this is Art of Runes. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8. And today, I'm gonna be doing a multiplayer tune test. Not a pro test because this car is not fully upgraded just yet. No, I have an MP tuned and I'm really curious to see how it's going to perform. This car being, of course, the Vanda Electrics Dendrobium, which in other circles may be known as the Spamda. But don't worry, we're gonna talk about that a little later. But for now, if you enjoy my content, you know what to do. Hit the like button in this video and subscribe to the channel, because doing these things tell YouTube that this is worth recommending to more people, and in that way I can continue making this type of content for you. So go ahead, like and subscribe to let me know that you want to see some more Asphalt 8 right here. But alright, let's talk about the Vanda Electrics Dendrobium. Now, this is a car that belongs to the bracket of 1500. However, I have an MP tuned for the bracket of 1410. And the reason why I MP tuned it is because I've heard that this car is really bad once it's pro'd out. So I thought, hey, let's do an acceleration tune and see how we can do. So let me activate some boosters. And there you have it. With the tuning kit, now you can see all of the stats. But as I always say, MP-tuned cars, the main thing about them is that they're gonna end up being slower than the pro'd out cars of the same bracket. So that is something to keep in mind, but hey, I'm really curious to see how this is gonna perform. Like I said, this is mostly focusing on acceleration, so let's test it out. Now, while I normally say that MP-tuned cars are not particularly useful in the sense that you cannot use them until you are in the bracket where this car actually belongs, even if you have it tuned for a lower bracket, this is not the case on this one. Because this car at Pro, it's of Class C, the bracket of 1500, but MP Tune is still Class C, just in the previous bracket. What that means is that even if I don't have it pro'd out, I can still use it at the same time that I would be able to use it normally once I am in the Silver League. The only difference is that I'm going to be using it at a lower bracket than where it belongs. Now, like I said just a minute ago, this... Oh, Jesus. Well, that's what you get for trying to knock me down, buddy. He was just pushing me. As I was saying, the thing about MP tunes is that they always are gonna end up being slower than the pro'd out cars of the same bracket. So that is something to keep in mind. But there is a world, or there's some situation in which actually the MP tunes can be really useful, because, for example, if the car accelerates really good at Pro, and you MP tune it in the way that is gonna have the maximum acceleration. Ooh, RIP to that dude. Someone just crashed and now I'm in second place. Then you have some really good acceleration, and well, maybe that's gonna carry you through. You know that acceleration is very powerful in this game. Now, you may notice that I actually changed the color of the car, and that was 100% in purpose, because I'm tired of seeing this car in white. Like I said, there's a reason why this car is called the Spamda. Like I said, don't worry, we're gonna get into it. For now, it's a second place, which is actually not too bad, considering that there were some very powerful cars in this race. First, we have an MP-tuned Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution X Anniversary thingy, which is the same case as this car, where it's a car from the next bracket, from the 1500, but it's MP-tuned for the previous one. But I did beat an MP48. There's a couple of Skylines, which are not fantastic in the bracket. MP48. Wow, lots of Skylines, Jesus. Ooh, and it would seem that we're gonna have the opportunity to do a live drift test in this race. Let's go. Though it's at the very start, so hey, let's figure it out. So even with this MP tune with the focus on acceleration, you can see that it's not like, oh my god, it's the best acceleration out there. I'm pretty sure that an MP48 can still out-accelerate me. And yeah, this drift is nothing to write home about. Then somebody pushed me a little bit, and well, that didn't go very good. But hey, there's gonna be a proper drift test a little later in this video. Oh my god, RIP to that MP48. Would that be the same MP48 that crashed in the previous race? If that's who it is, RIP to that dude, because that is 2 races where he would have gotten away with the W had it not been for walls and things like that. But yeah, so also this nitro duration is nothing to write home about, at least it doesn't seem to be. And you know that the nitro duration is not affected at all by the car level of upgrades. When you upgrade nitro, you are upgrading the speed at which the nitro will take you, or how much additional speed you're gonna get. But it's not like it changes the duration. So basically this duration is the same as if it was at Pro. So hey, nothing to learn about that just yet. But that's another second place, which again, while not necessarily, wow, that's straight up a W, that's still a pretty decent result. Again, for a car that I've heard that it's actually not very good in its own bracket, so hey. But alright, let's get this out of the way. Why do people call it the Spamda? I bet if you only play Asphalt 8, you've never heard anybody call this car the Spamda. But the reason for that is because this car in Asphalt 9 slash Asphalt Legends Unite slash Asphalt Legends, which again, rebrands of the same game, this car is insanely powerful over there. Absolutely bonkers on how good this car is. Over here, it's only a Class C car. In that other game, slash games, it's actually a Class A car, which doesn't seem to be like an amazing Class A car in terms of the rank and all of that stuff. But man, this car is so powerful over there. It's so powerful. It is so good and so easy to use that everybody uses it. It's incredibly spammed. People hate this car for how spammed it is. For good reason. There's so many of them. It's so easy to use. It's so OP, whatever. So we see this car all day, every day in multiplayer, and thus it gained the name of the Spamda, along with the Hurricane Evil Spider, but hey, that's a different one. But yeah, same idea, right? So powerful cars that are relatively easy to acquire in the game for free, and really good, so people use them a lot. You see them a lot in multiplayer, and because you see a lot of this same card, it tends to be, you know, simply as a numbers situation, a lot of players are very toxic, or a good bunch of players who play with this card tend to be very toxic, whatever. So yeah, this car is kind of hated in that game for that reason, loved by the users, hated by the people who are tired of seeing it, myself included, but that is only from Asphalt 9 slash Asphalt Legends 9 slash Asphalt Legends, whatever. Over here, it's a different situation, so hey, I'm giving it its space to shine. But yeah, that's gonna be a first place, lovely stuff. Defeating Aerial Atom, which is not very strong, LMS Ultra, which is not very strong, Skyline, which is not very strong, and there was an MP48, but disconnected. Oof. Oh, shout out to Pan ST for wearing the DBT hoodie, let's go. For anybody that is wondering, hey DBT, how can I acquire that hoodie? Unfortunately, it's not possible anymore. I have asked Gameloft to make it available again, but so far, I've heard nothing about it. So hey, if it ever comes back, I'll let you know. But anyway, speaking of Asphalt Legends Unite, I've mentioned this a bunch of times every time that I land on this track, but this was recently remade in that game, in Asphalt Legends, and man, it is an absolutely looking track. Over here I love it because it's very evening-ish, very orange. It looks pretty cool, the sunset and all of that stuff. In Asphalt Legends they made it into a very cloudy, overcast type of map, and it lost all of the color and all of the fanciness from it. I honestly kind of don't like it because of that. In terms of the colors, the remake itself is pretty good, but the colors, man, the colors. But anyway, so yeah, that is why this car is known as the Spamda in the Asphalt 9 slash Alu slash Asphalt Legends circles, because, oh boy, honestly, I don't know if in Asphalt 9 China, which is technically a different version of Asphalt 9, I don't know if it's also very powerful in spam, but hey, whatever. So, yeah, oh god, no. That was my fault, I tried to force the barrel roll, and as you can tell, I absolutely failed, so RIP DBT. Whoa, I think a couple of people crashed, let's go. First place, I'll live with it. At least I did get a W in this video with this car, so that's kind of dope. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention real quick, I actually do like the look of this car. Look at the back of it, how you can see the suspension and all of this stuff and whatever. I think it looks pretty dope. But anyway, what did I beat this time? Or what beat me? Yeah, a bunch of things beat me. I only really beat an MP48, so cool. But it is time for a spiral drift test, and let's see how it does. Again, MP tunes, especially focused on acceleration, are gonna end up with not fantastic handling, so let's keep that in mind. But let's see if it can defend itself in this big spiral. Not big, but you know, in this spiral. Alright, it's definitely wide. It's not unusable, but yeah, wide. Alright, take 2 for good measure. Let's see if I can do it a little bit better, though I honestly kinda doubt it, but let's see anyway. Yeah, like I said, it's kinda wide. It's not garbo, but it's not particularly good. And as always, also in the opposite direction for good measure to see how it feels on the side. As I always say, it feels assisted on this direction, so hey, whatever. But let's check it out anyway. And yes, by the way, I did paint the car black, as I usually do in the drift and acceleration test, just because I know some people like looking at the cars in black, though I can't for the life of me figure out why you guys like that. But anyway, there it was in that direction. Like I said, it's okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, the acceleration of this thing doesn't seem really good, so all of the cars out-accelerate me. Hopefully it doesn't get too much in the way, so hey, there it was. Not very clean, but just about the same with any car, so hey, I hope that helps a little bit. We're gonna do a second attempt just for good measure over here. Don't get in the way, car. Don't get in the way. Okay, almost didn't. I did have to move a tiny bit, so that is gonna alter by some milliseconds. But yeah. But you know me, I also do the test in drift gates, because over here there's no opponent, so this is as clean as it can possibly get, even if the time is counting down rather than up. But hey, it's as clean as that's gonna get, so there you have it. I bet it's nothing amazing. But alright, before we move into more multiplayer races, I do want to show you both the tune of the car and also the color options for this car, because they're very interesting. For the colors, the default one being the white one, I think we have all seen it over here. We got it also in red, which is slightly cherry, but like a burnt cherry, I don't know. We also got it in this very peculiar green. It's a dual tone green. I kind of like it because it's strange. We got it also in a really strange blue. I actually like this one as well. It's not a super saturated one. It's kind of dark. I don't know. We got it in silver. We got it in beautiful yellow, slightly yellow with some darker yellow. I like it. Full black, which is the one I just showed you. And finally, we got a full crazy orange color. I can't decide which one I like the most, because this one I like. This one I like as well. This I like, and this I like too. So I think I'm gonna commit to using it on this one. I don't know, I really think it looks pretty cool over there. Now, as far as the tune itself, we have that all you need to do is take it to 0, 5, 10, 10. As you can see, this maxes out the acceleration while still putting some emphasis into a bit of handling, a bit of nitro, you know, some speed and all of that stuff. Like I said, it ends up being slower than a product car of this rank, but hey. So for the next couple races, as the youth says, I'm gonna lock in and try to get some decent result with the car, because you know, for half of the video I'm just yapping endlessly. Now I'm gonna try to focus a little bit more into the races, yap a little bit less, and see if I can get a better result. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think this is a car that you should really be worrying too much about, because I don't believe it's particularly good, not even MP2. And again, from what I hear, even pro'd out, still no. But alright, let's see what we can do over here. Jesus Christ. I'll tell you that at least I'm sort of impressed with the triple tap duration for this car. Not that it's amazing, but I thought I was gonna end up running out of nitro way sooner. So that's kind of dope. Oh boy. Alright, so I have the lead, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep it, because I think I hear... Is that a Resbandi behind me or something like that? I don't know. Let me try to get all of the nitro. Oh god, that I can. I'm gonna have to do some flat spins here. Oh god, don't touch me, don't touch me. Oh shoot. No, we're fine. Oh, he crashed. I may have made him crash. I'm sorry, buddy. But yeah, that drift section was a little bit risky. I don't even have enough nitro to try the teleport trick, so let's just go on a straight line over here and hope for the best. Yeah, okay. Oh, well, of course, it's DB Terra 9. And you know that I do okay in these tracks from time to time, and when I do okay, I tend to get a... Damn, that worked out. Nice. Alright. So what was I racing against? It was a Dodge Dart X Edition. That is MP tuned from Class A. That's crazy. And two... Okay, these guys were unboosted, no surprise. And a KTM crossbow. Is that one that I made crash? Oof, RIP, buddy. Ah, come on. Don't do me dirty, game. What the heck? Jesus. Okay, short race. Sort of short race. So let's see how we do over here. But yeah, as I was saying, overall, I don't think this is a car that you should really be going for. Doesn't seem to be particularly good, whether it's MP tuned, and like I said, I heard that it's also not good at all once it's brought out. Now, I've made this argument a million times that even cars that are not particularly good are not straight up terrible. And I think that's still gonna be the case for this car, though the acceleration does seem to be kind of pretty weak, so hey. But yeah, still, if you're looking for a car when it comes to performance in this bracket, this is definitely not it, even if you MP tune it for acceleration and all of that, because it does seem that the acceleration was not even good to begin with when it's brought out, so oof. But hey, again, I like doing things like this just for the fun of it. Oh, Jesus, I didn't know if I was gonna make that jump. I like still doing things like this, you know, for the sake of it, for having some fun with some cars that may not necessarily be made as they may not be the most powerful cars in the game, or anything like that, but still, you know, I like having fun. Oh, what is happening over there? Oh, God. Jesus, that dude just completely obliterated that MP48. And let's hope that he doesn't knock me down. Well, he's faster. I'm gonna go on the lower route, because I do need the nitro, and these pillars might just give me a little bit. But, yeah, alright. Wait, someone just parked at the very start of the race? Alright, that's cool, I suppose. Now, it's been a long time since I've made this alliteration key phrases, so here's one for you. If you're gonna get a heart and a pin on this video, the key phrase is going to be the vandalizing voice of the vengeful vanguard of vintage victory, vacated from vivid and valuable visitors. First person to post it gets a heart, a pin, and all of that good stuff. For now, that's where I'm gonna leave it. If you enjoyed this video, once again, I want you to hit the like button in the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what other car would you like me to test. And I do mean that you guys doing these things of liking and leaving comments and all of that lets me know that you still want me to continue making these Asphalt 8 videos for you. The game may not have a lot of anything new for us to do, but we can still have fun, and I can continue making these videos. So let me know that you still want me to do this. But alright, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!